up your engine! You might ask yourself, why would somebody buy a Nissan Titan pickup truck? When you consider a brand new Nissan Titan with a V8 is only about $1,000 cheaper than a Toyota Tundra, the gold standard. A Ford F-150 is actually about $500 cheaper than a Nissan Titan with a V8, the base models. Well, with this particular Titan, I am going to show you why you can make a good move buying one of these. This one was purchased last year for $6,000 with 65,000 miles on it. No, I'm not making this up, 65,000 miles. Now, it had been in a wreck, and you can tell that by looking inside. Now, all states don't do this, but they do in Alabama. And as you can see, state of Alabama is warning you it's a rebuilt salvage vehicle. Now, it's quite obvious, even with a cursory check, it's been wrecked. You see the bends here. This has been painted over. You look inside. There you can see they had to replace the headlights, and they got some from Honduras. And here you can see these have been bolted on and off for body work that was done. But he paid $6 grand for it a year ago. He's put about 24,000 miles on it, and it hasn't really given him any problems. Not a bad deal. Now, it's got a big old 5.6 V8. It's got plenty of horsepower. And as we close the hood, you can see it's a sharp looking pickup truck. Sure, it's a little bit old, but hey, 13 years later, still in pretty good shape. Bed's still nice. Now realize, this first generation one, many had rear differentials go out, but that's a pretty easy thing to check out. There's the rear differential right there. What happens is, the seals go bad and they leak, then the differentials go out. Now, this particular one hasn't had any differential problems yet. That usually doesn't happen until they get 80, 90, 100,000 miles. But it's often because the seal goes bad, the fluid leaks out, then the differential is ruined. If you do own one of these, just watch the back. And if you don't see any fluid leaking out of the seals, it should be perfectly fine. I do advise changing the fluid in the differential, every 70, 80,000 miles anyway, so you want to get under there and check just to make sure, because you don't want to ruin a vehicle because the fluid leaked out. You don't watch for it. If it does leak out, by the time it starts growling, it's too late. So you want to check, do a little preventive maintenance. That's, from my experience, the main reason they have problems with the differentials. Now, this particular one is a flex fuel. Now, in truth, hardly anyone uses flex fuel, the ethanol. That's E85. That's 85% ethanol and 15% gasoline, because in the real world, you're going to get anywhere from 25 to 40% worse gas mileage. Now, this owner has never used E85, just regular gasoline. And it really makes no sense today, because here in Tennessee, I just checked. If you went and got discount gas, it was $1.89 a gallon for gasoline, and it was $1.79 a gallon for E85 ethanol. So you might think, oh, it's cheaper, let's use it. Ethanol has less energy than gasoline, 20% less energy, but it's worse than that. I've had customers and they would get 35% worse gas mileage. With that price differential, 5-6% cheaper, if you're getting 30-40% worse gas mileage, there's no point in using E85 in your vehicle. Ethanol boosts the octane. You got to have higher octane or the engine will ping. And if you use a lot of ethanol, you'll have high octane, and it actually runs quite well, because ethanol, alcohol, as it evaporates, it cools. That's why they use them in race cars. You get more power, it cools the engine, able to go faster. But for a normal everyday driver, it's stupid to use E85, because you're wasting a ton of money. And as you look under the hood, in order to make it work as a flex fuel vehicle, it has special fuel injectors, special fuel pump, special computer software. It's supposed to know how much ethanol is in your tank. It can be any from 0%. Of course, normal gasoline has 10% ethanol in it as an octane booster, and E85 is 85%. So you could mix all the fuels theoretically you wanted, it would run fine, because all these sensors can compensate for it. But, sad but true, these systems don't operate that well as they age. So it guesses the wrong amount of alcohol in the fuel. It makes the timing wrong, the fuel injector wrong. Plus, When the parts break, they cost more because they have to be able to take that high amount of alcohol. So my advice, which is taken by most people in the United States, don't run ethanol even if you've got a flex fuel car. That E85 is probably going to create problems for you. The tiny amount you save buying it isn't worth the risk of having problems. There are over 7 million cars in the United States that have flex fuel. Very few of them use E85. In many places you can't even find the E85 because they don't sell much and the companies just say, I don't want to deal with that, it's too much bother. Plus, if you know anything about alcohol, let's say you've had one too many, you know what it does? It gives you a headache because it dries you up. It sucks the water out of your system. Well, if you have any water in your gas tank, it sucks it out and it can clog everything up. So it's kind of a dual-edged sword here. I personally don't advise ever using it if you've got a flex fuel vehicle, unless you're a farmer, you want to use it all the time and never put normal gasoline. Only put that in. And the vehicle can get used to one setup and run pretty good that way, even though you're going to be wasting a lot of money. If you're the farmer, hey, you're making all that money selling the corn, so what the heck. But since he runs his on regular gas, hey, no problems with that. Now, we're going to do a scan to see what's happening because he's thinking that he's getting a little bit worse gas mileage on this used thing. So let's get the scanner out. This is my new scanner. It's been working great. We'll plug it in. This one's real easy to find. There it is. Turn the key on. We can see there's no trouble codes, but there's a lot more than trouble codes involved. Check the all module scan here. There it is. Got to switch the vehicle because it was on the last one. So Nissan, and we're looking for Titan. There it is. And it's a flex fuel. So here we go. Here we go. It's doing every module on the vehicle. It's really amazing what these modern scan tools can do. Checks the differential. Now, as we can see, it goes through everything. Okay, the body control module has problems. Let's see what that's doing. There we go, body control module. What do we have? The battery has low voltage. Now this is low voltage to the different wheels. For the speed sensor, no big deal. This thing was a salvage title. Could be the wiring's messed up. Check your tires with an air pressure gauge every once in a while. It's not something I'd worry about, so we're going to go back to straight data. Nissan enhanced data. In this case, he was complaining about lower gas mileage. Both the bank 1 and the bank 2, the long-term fuel trim, it's subtracting 7% to the bank 1, and it's subtracting 4.7 to the bank 2. Typically on these, if the fuel injectors get weak, they'll drip a little too much gas, and then the computer has to subtract it because it's getting too much. First thing I advise on this thing is get some good cleaner, and I've had very good luck with that BG cleaner. It's very hard to find. I buy it on Amazon. It's like 25 bucks a bottle, but it does seem to work quite well for cleaning them out. Then they get better gas mileage. Now, just to make sure the battery's okay, I'm doing the battery test with this machine. To start the engine, battery status is good. As long as we're at it, let's check the alternator, and the alternator's good. Never, ever assume a charging system is working good. Modern cars, everything's run electronically, especially one of these flex fuels. You gotta make sure you have a good battery and a good alternator before you attempt replacing anything. Sometimes it's as simple as a weak battery or a weak alternator, and all your problems will go to that. Machine like this checks it so fast, you want to make sure that's done. Let's take it for a road test. Now this particular one's been lifted about 2-3 inches, so it's a little higher than normal. Makes it ride a little bit rougher, but it's not horrible for a big pickup truck. Now you want to see why people buy these things? Well, it does have a V8 engine. It's got a reasonable amount of pickup, pretty smooth shifting transmission too. For a $6,000 pickup truck. So now you know why smart people buy Nissan Titan pickup trucks used instead of new. Sure, a Toyota Tundra will outlast this thing by far, but you're going to pay 1/3 or less for a used one in good shape like this than you would for a Tundra. Save a ton of money, still be a good truck for that kind of money. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.